Hey everyone, you're listening to CADMIUM DREAD. This is your host, Mimi Nguyen. I wanted to start off by saying back up your files. The audio on this episode got damaged, so you'll hear my voice pop in a couple times to explain what's going on once in a while. I'm really sorry about that, but it's still a really good episode with really awesome guests. So please keep listening and enjoy!
CADMIUM DREAD.
Is that good? I can do it again.
Yeah, you can do that.
CADMIUM DREAD.
Yeah, nice. That's more like it.
You can say that and then I'll introduce ourselves and our guests.
Yeah. What, I gotta do it again?
Yeah.
Yes, you do!
Alright.
Welcome to CADMIUM DREAD.
With your hosts, Mimi and Josh. And joining us today are Geng Li and... Oh my god,
Oh
I don't
my
know
god,
how
nobody
to
knows
say
how to
your
pronounce
last
it.
name.
Don't even worry about it. It's your boy K-Su. Shit. Let's go.
Kyle
His name is Kyle.
S.
And we'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. We all met at Glue.
All worked at Glue together.
No, Crowdstar.
Well, Crowdstar.
Crowdstar.
Fair enough.
I think that's a thing. Is like all the new hires, just think of it as
It's
glue.
Yeah.
One Glue.
Is that like the
They're
thing
trying
that
to...
they're trying to make that a thing?
unite. Can we talk about this?
Yeah,
Sure.
We can
I haven't heard anything about this, so...
Explain. You guys were
Okay,
there
so-
for it. I
'Cause
was
I'm not there
for
anymore.
it.
So, a company was started in 2008 by Jeffrey Sang and what was his name? Seren Markosian, a small game studio out in Burlingame, and they were like doing those quizzes on Facebook. It's like what color are you? And you like take like a little questionnaire thing, and it spits out whatever meaning blue is or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so they started up a company, and about 10. How many years? 9 years later? 8 years? 9 years? Another bigger company bought them out. And
Kyle, were you there from the start?
yes, I was hired there as like a contractor in September of 2008, right after I graduated high school. Which is right behind us. It's right down the road. It's right there.
It is.
My high school's rivals.
Yeah.
Which I don't give a shit about, but...
I mean,
What were your mascots?
we were the Panthers.
we were the Bearcats.
Yeah, you're not
Which
even...
don't look it up.
Not even a
Much-
real animal.
What's a bear cat?
That's what we said.
Yeah.
That was our like
Don't look-
chant.
It's just think of the words bear and cat.
Yeah.
It looks nothing like that.
I almost spit in my coffee.
I'm thinking like a wolverine.
It's more akin to like a sloth.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Yeah.
Does it hang upside down the branches?
It looks like it does. It looks a very lazy animal.
Wasn't
what's that
wasn't
guy's
the
name
greatest
on-
mascot.
Huh?
Was not the greatest mascot.
Yeah, no. But our logo was like a tiger,
It's true.
and
Oh,
our colors were
that's
orange
confusing.
and black, and we definitely had more spirit than like anybody in the district, which we.
I mean, you guys are looking at me. I had like zero spirit. I had negative spirit.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
BHS.
what being at Burlingame High School will do to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Kyle, I always
We
thought
got really local
I
there.
always thought you had the spirit of someone who grew up in South San Jose like me.
Hey, I mean, South Africa is not too far off from South San Jose.
They share one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. You guys both became like U.S. citizens around the same time, right?
About a year apart.
Yeah.
Who was first?
I was. During a company outing, I flew back from Vegas and took my citizenship test and tried to fly back to Vegas the same night after passing it.
Dang.
And yeah,
It did not make
But
it
it-
back.
I did not make it back. But it took, like 15 years, 16 years to get citizenship.
Wow.
Damn.
Wait, so were you applying for citizenship in the beginning?
No, at the beginning, my parents were on a work visa, and I guess just kept renewing that for a bit, and then. But we applied shortly after. Yeah, how long have I been in here? In here? Where am I?
What, like this apartment?
Let's
Let's
see. Yeah, 99. Nice. 18 years? Yeah, so 16 out of those 18 years. So like maybe 2 years in, we started the process. Got our green cards and permanent residency, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you, Geng?
It took me 5 years to become a permanent resident.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think after you become a permanent resident, you need to live in the country for another, I forgot, maybe it's 3 to 5 years before you're eligible for applying for citizenship. So totally about 10 years. But I sort of procrastinated and wait until like 13 years. That's when I think the election was kind of going on, and it seems like a good time.
We're going to get political
No,
here?
can we not?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Let's not. Just skip all that and get
Yeah.
married.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's what my uncle did.
That's what my cousin's trying to do right now.
Yeah, I know very, like, surprisingly, like, as a first-generation American, and my parents are, like, immigrants, I know very little about this process of how it works. I just know that they did it, and I was a
Yeah,
kid, and I don't remember any
same.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, now it's pretty much just like, it's just a lot of DMV kind of buildings and forms. And
Ugh.
yeah, exactly.
Forms. Forms are the biggest enemy of my Dungeons and Dragons group. As soon as a form, I don't know. Our
How do you
DM really
always
likes
tie it back to D&D?
I don't know, man. It's just what I've been doing lately.
Nice. So how often have you been playing?
Theoretically, once every other week, but that's not been happening.
Theoretically.
Everyone's like too busy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have a metal elf.
Yeah, metal dark, like a dark
Death-
elf.
Dark metal elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Nice.
just a total like phony. Like he tells everybody that he's like from the underworld, and he's like killed all these like monsters and shit. He hasn't done any of that. He's from like an aristocratic family.
Oh.
It's the best. I love that character.
Yeah, I tried getting into D&D at the office as well with some coworkers, and like it was just a lot of effort to bring everybody together, and like the entry level into a game was pretty high too, because it was a lot of just like, what's your background and stats for these, and we just got to like figure out everybody's character first before we get anything rolling.
Yeah.
And I think we barely got past that, and yeah, but I'd be down to try again.
I get way too much into character creation
Nice, yeah.
because I want to do character design,
Yeah,
right?
same.
And it's just like,
That's the longest part of like
Yeah.
a game, any kind of game.
and with that, I'm trying to tie it back to art. I'm just trying to tie it back to the topic.
It's okay.
No, it's fine that we're like on a tangent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this podcast is gonna work, but
Yeah, we'll learn as we go.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's cool.
But yeah,
Character art, that's cool.
I mean, I did draw the whole party, which is like 8 people.
Nice. That's dope. How long did it take you?
Much longer than it should have. It's not even like done. They're all like designed. I want to like paint them all in like the same style.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just A, I'm busy with work, and like B, it's just like I'm like doing all characters at the same time to try to keep it consistent. I'm like trying to figure out like a way, like a workflow that will like make the rendering the same.
Are you the only artist on the team?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's just all my friends from
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not working with any
For a
or
second, I
playing with
thought
any of my
it was
art
just-
friends.
Yeah.
They're all like, I'm there just like sketching like while people are trying to figure shit out. I'm like just crap on my iPad, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "You guys don't know anything." You guys-
Just say thank you.
summer
Just say thank
summer
you.
Yeah,
child.
just say thank you. Be nice.
I can't. My
I'm garbage. I'm trash.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
this. I hate my life. I hate Procreate. I hate.
yeah, exactly. It's like this fucking program. I'm
Yeah.
fighting against it. My self confidence is way too low to accept any praise.
God. Same.
I think that's how you start, I guess, judging other people too. Just like, because, never mind.
Are you trying
No,
to
go
are
on.
you trying to imply that we will stop being self-conscious?
Or like, I mean, it's like your opinion of yourself, it affects how you see others. Like, if there's something that you're good at, but you don't think you're good at it, and when other people are impressed, and that makes you look down on them even more.
Oh, so you like judge other people for judging you?
No,
This is getting way too deep.
never mind.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
The layers of Geng.
Yeah.
Layers
Ooh.
of Geng is
Like
a great album title.
I agree.
That could be CADMIUM Dread's first album.
Layers of Geng. Why do I just keep thinking of Shrek?
Because I'm around.
Yeah.
When I'm around, Shrek is never too far.
Respect.
Yeah. Just like one word away from making a Shrek reference.
Shrek is like a cultural phenomenon.
I've made
I love-
friendships based on, like, recognizing each other as, like, fans of the Shrek meme.
Yeah.
Like, when I started at Machine Zone, like, I just, like, made one Shrek joke, and, like, someone else, like, DM'd me on Slack. It wasn't Slack even back then. What the fuck were we using?
G-Chat.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Something else that's, like...
What do you think the art for Shrek looked like? The concept art, the
Yeah.
storyboards.
Ooh, well, yeah, let's bring it back into that.
Yeah.
If only we knew anybody who were... Actually, well, I don't know any artists who worked at DreamWorks. Okay, I do know one.
Like when Shrek was made? Or like currently?
There was a PM at Machine Zone who was a project manager on Shrek 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're like, do we tell her about this meme?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if she knows.
Yeah. Will she take offense to this?
I don't know. I had a hard time reading her, so I don't know how that came off to her. Like, did she think less of us after showing her this thing? Like a project that she worked on for so long. It's like, hey, look at this Shrek is Life video. That's what the internet thinks of Shrek.
She's like, ugh, who is this guy?
I don't know.
We had at Cogswell, one of our illustration teacher he taught at DreamWorks, or he kept telling us he taught at DreamWorks.
Taught at DreamWorks.
So like they would have like, we have like figure drawing at work. They would have like classes for
oh yeah.
their artists and
Real studios do that, don't they?
yeah. Oh,
Wait, Kyle, were you working at CrowdStar while you went to Cogswell?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
That's nuts.
So I went to a community college first for first 2 years just to get GEs out the way. I went to Foothill, and then transferred to Cogswell, and it was between Cogswell or good old San Jose State.
why'd you choose Cogswell?
Um,
Sorry, I had a little bit of
I know.
Well, you
I was
have
a little bit judgmental
got
with that
pride.
question. Yeah.
I've not heard great things about Cogswell.
Yeah, it's like Cogswell. Like I didn't even go to San Jose State to like for open day, or you go to like check out the campus
Yeah.
or their program or whatever. Did not do that. Went straight to Cogswell, and my dad and I were just kind of like, well, it has this like kind of small school vibe, and it's like 300 students at the time, or 400 students in the whole campus, and yeah, it just seemed like a little bit more intimate. But yeah, I mean, I don't regret any of it. Like some of my best homies I met there, but as for like learning art, it was kind of like a lot more challenges than I felt there a need for. Like
Trust me, you guys still learn way more than what I did at Santa Cruz.
I think I learned the most like working at CrowdStar while going to Cogswell. Like I would just take the technical stuff from Cogswell, but then really kind of like hone it at CrowdStar. And especially because like everybody that was around, like Brandon Jones, who's on Design Home right now, and like King, and like all just my whole like the old school team, like they were like textbooks right next to me, that had like years of experience already in the industry. And it's like I could be at school like listening to fucking whoever talk about, I don't know, brush presets and make me study about, like just whatever random stuff, or like at work and like literally modeling something with Sam, or like drawing something next to two and him like correcting me on the spot. So yeah.
Oh. Geng, why'd you choose San Jose State?
It was close.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you know they had an art program?
No, I didn't. I initially went to San Jose State for graphic design, and I was about to apply for the graphic design major, and I went down. I was looking at the pamphlet for the humanity and arts, and there's animation illustration, and
humanity and arts.
I took the 2-year humanities and the arts program. I loved it.
oh really?
It made me feel so smart, and I feel so stupid now.
Oh.
You had the college effect fade.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
I feel like it. Or maybe that's just my brother being a pretentious douchebag.
I mean, yeah, after I stopped, like, writing essays.
I felt so smart after I got out of college, too, and then I tried to get a job.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking idiot.
I think that's the point at which everybody realizes, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What
College
was
is a waste of
What
money.
was I doing?
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
It's pretty rare, like when you get like people graduate from universities and actually do what they studied.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like one of the
Yeah, I think
as far as like my friends like back from like high school and shit like that, like I can think of very few people who are in the field that they studied.
Okay.
Like I'm like, well, I feel good about actually being in art because I did study art and I made it.
Yeah.
And some people have like, it's not like they don't have good careers now. It's just like they've gone in completely different directions.
Right. Or even within art, there's so many things in art that it's not like what you went to school for. Like,
Yeah.
I studied animation, illustration, like, but people in the same program have gone on to do other forms of designs that has nothing to do with cartoons.
Yeah, for sure.
Some have become fine artists, too.
Oh yeah.
But, Geng, how did you know that you wanted to do that over graphic design?
Actually, my English was pretty bad at the moment, so I saw those two words, animation, illustration, and didn't know what it meant. I looked it up online and said, "Oh, so this is what animation is." And I was like, "Oh hell yeah!"
Can you tell them the story about your green shirt?
Oh my god, why did you?
Is this like a green screen story?
It's a.
I hope it is.
So as I mentioned, my English wasn't very good when I came to this country, and think back when I was in China, I had this green T-shirt that has some English words.
I do remember this story.
I don't.
All right, I'll tell you.
Keep going.
And it's like a nice shade of green, and I really liked it, and so I wore it every day. After coming to this country, I wore it, sometimes just go to work. Until one day I decided to look up the word on the T-shirt, and the word turned out to be adorable.
Aww. Aww.
And I burned that T-shirt.
Oh, is that why you never wear green?
Maybe. Like subconsciously, you just kind of.
Was it in like pink letters?
No. It totally looks like neutral. It looks neutral. It's just like a shirt, a random shirt.
Dang.
I don't see any problem with that.
Gender
Like
neutral.
why? Who did someone give it to you?
No, I think I don't know.
It just caught your eye, just how it looked.
No, back then, I didn't really buy my shirts.
Oh, okay.
I think my mom just saw that in the store. Like, oh yeah,
My son's adorable.
no, she did. I bet. Dude, if she knew, I'll be so mad. But no, I don't.
I
think
hope she
did.
knew. I hope she knew. So bad.
But anyway, so after you looked up the words, how did you know you wanted to do that?
I always liked cartoons. I always liked playing games. Like Diablo 2, StarCraft, all the Blizzard games was my middle school and high school. So yeah. And this is better.
Yes.
All right.
Please.
Sorry.
Just
Yeah.
point that mic, yeah.
All right. So and growing up watching like other animations, like Gargoyles,
Yeah, gargoyles!
all the American cartoons. So yeah, I always liked them, and I was like, if you look at my middle school, high school notebooks for each subject, like they all look the same. Like the first few pages are actually in the start of the semester. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention this semester. I'm gonna do good, and then later they all become doodles.
Nice.
So yeah, when I saw that, went to the orientation, checked it out. It seemed like everybody was super nice. Everybody was very enthusiastic and eager to learn about cartoons, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is the place. Yeah.
And then Geng became embedded in
Embattled.
in the program and the club.
I did.
And my second year there, he was the graphic designer for the club.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did posters for all the events, meetings, and movie screenings.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
He was an involved guy.
So when you met Geng for the first time, was it like, when like a freshman in high school sees a senior and you're like, oh, is that a senior? Like,
They look
Kind
like a
of.
different
Like,
like,
yeah, when
like
I
a
was-
different echelon
Yeah.
of like.
I always looked up to like the club cabinet, I guess. And
Oh wow.
yeah,
That's
now,
tight.
now you lost all the respect for me.
I did.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
That's
It's
amazing.
been more than a year since we've been working together, right?
No,
No?
no.
Oh,
I think it'll be a year in April. Yeah.
he's saying it feels like a year. Is that a good thing or a
yeah,
bad thing?
It's excruciating.
Oh,
It's a good thing. Hey everyone. We took a short break, and when we came back, we started discussing Kyle's family hot sauce business. Can the Prince of Hot Sauce please?
the Prince of Hot Sauce.
Is that
Yo, I
Kyle?
like that.
That's Kyle.
I feel like
Every
need
time
a
I
crown.
see something about hot sauce, I think of you now. Kyle.
Dude, that's good to know. That's
Yeah.
dope. I'm glad Parified's making that kind of impact on people.
Yeah.
I love Parified. It's dope. I like just before coming here, I was texting my parents about the new label that I need to get done.
Yeah.
That I'm not getting paid for. But don't
It's
worry.
family.
Yeah, it's
Family
family.
business.
No, I love working on Parified. It's amazing. I just had Geng gave me a crazy idea for like a refresh for the website as well.
I did.
Yeah.
Can
Remember we were
you-
talking about lug?
You gotta explain Parified.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad. Parified is this sauce that's so good it's scary, and it's a hot sauce that's made off of the peri peri chilies that are native to South Africa, where I'm from, and I hope everybody gets a taste of it.
And who makes it?
My mom,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
and we've made it into a really significant, like, just pretty fun, like, family activity thing that has stretched beyond that as well. To like, I made a bunch of stickers and gave them out, and a bunch of people in the office have stickers, and like, everybody now knows me as the Prince of
Prince of
Sauce.
Hot
Yeah, the
Sauce.
Prince of Hot Sauce. But yeah,
Have you brought the sauce into the office?
not the new
No.
office.
Not yet.
Not yet. I was just like thinking about that yesterday too. Getting lunch and then looking for hot sauce, and I'm like, there's no hot sauce here. There's like half a bottle of old sriracha and
Yeah.
like.
I like how the sriracha bottles are just like a standard, like a
Yeah.
necessary standard.
when the sriracha bottle starts getting crusty and like the sauce gets dark, it's like I
Yeah.
don't really want this anymore. But
Nothing beats that sauce basket you guys had.
dude, right? Wait,
Somebody has it, I think. Still,
somebody has our sauces?
I was gonna say you should just bring a sauce, peri peri sauce, to the to lunch. Just that the salad bar.
Yeah.
Where to put the sauce, you just put it up there
Yeah, dude. Just like sneak it in.
and see how people react.
Respect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a fucking dope ass. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, go. Yay. Nice.
At this point, we start discussing influential role models. I have like top 3 that I always go to, and then I was like thinking about it, and I think it's because they're all storytellers, and like they've all made a career based on like being their authentic self.
Mm.
And it's Kanye West, it's Eddie Huang, and it's Kevin Smith.
Okay.
Yeah. And like
Wasn't expecting that first one.
yeah, well, I thought that one was super interesting, because then when I started looking more into him, you know nothing about Kanye West.
I know
right, Josh?
nothing. All I know is recently somebody was talking about how all that crazy shit he said was just because he was like not on his meds. And
Wasn't that me?
was it you?
Someone.
I can't remember what
Is that
people
a
tell me. I
defense-
just
is that
have
a
a
defense for him.
huh? No, I just have a bad memory. And like my brain's not good.
No, but I thought it was interesting that
It's all the alcohol.
one of his hit songs is Power, and it actually samples King Crimson.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that he did that.
You do?
Yeah, because King Crimson's so good and he's so shit. I'm sorry, my own music tastes are coming into this.
So do you hate when hip hop artists sample?
Yes,
Really?
I
Really?
fucking hate that. Especially
like
when
it.
I like the original
I think
stuff.
I think it's totally valid.
Yeah.
It's just my personal taste. It's just because I don't like their music, and
It's like
it's
photo
not.
bashing.
It is, and no, it's just my it's totally my personal bias. I can if I had the capacity to appreciate hip hop, it wouldn't bother me as much, but I just can't
Wait,
get
do you
into
not
it.
like photo bashing?
Huh? No, photo bashing's fine.
Okay, just
Because I
Wow,
can.
what a hypocrite.
No, I am a hypocrite. I no, I my music like biases are too strong because
Okay.
I'm just too particular about that kind of shit.
No,
I
love
can
it.
see how I can be self-aware about how close-minded I can get about music sometimes.
I spent like all of Friday alternating between listening to Power and listening to 21st Century Schizoid Man.
Like the actual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good times.
I'm glad you listened to the like. I'm glad that not everybody listens to that and is unaware of like the source material.
Well, I mean, I was until like I saw in an article and it was like he sampled King Crimson, and I was like, really? So
Yeah.
then I looked it up. Yeah.
Just standing on the backs of
wait, who's King
musical
Crimson?
artists.
Is that a metal
better-
band?
King Crimson. Oh my god. Okay, well, this is the music portion of the podcast.
Is
King
he a SoundCloud rapper?
You're just fucking with me, aren't you?
No, I don't know.
King Crimson is a prog rock band from like the 70s and 80s. They're still around, just with a slightly different lineup. I saw them live like a year ago, and they're gonna be playing Fox Theater again. I need to go see them again. It's crazy, like difference.
Are they gonna bring on Kanye?
If they do, I'll leave. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just they're just like they're out there. That's just what prog
I'd be
rock
down to
is.
listen.
But I don't know. I just love their shit so much. And like you've seen the cover art at least for 21st Century Schizoid Man because it's like famous. I'll show you right now.
What's
This
that
is great
dude's
audio
name?
content. But
Yeah. Hey,
I
Jimmy,
mean,
pull
just
it,
Google
pull it.
King Crimson like art, King Crimson cover art, and you'll see it, listeners.
Yeah, and then I also thought it was interesting that I was like, Kyle, what's your opinion on Kanye West? And then he brought up Murakami.
Yeah, because he's like one of my idols for sure. Like kind of.
Everyone's seen this. No?
Oh,
Nope.
Yeah, sorry, Josh.
No,
I didn't know about it until
Looks
after
like
I looked it up.
Shingeki no Kyojin.
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was more famous than it apparently is. Never mind. Maybe it just
Sorry.
roll in those circles, I guess.
Sorry.
All right, well, leave in the comments. I don't know if there's going to be comments.
Just criticisms, no comments.
I was telling the new art director, like I let slip just because I was drinking whiskey that we were gonna be recording a podcast today, and he's like, "Oh, you're doing a podcast?" He's like, "What about?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said anything. It's about being artists and stuff like that." I gave him like the quick skinny on it, and he's like, "Well, my advice: grow thick skin." And I'm like, I know, I know, it's gonna be dangerous.
Wait, I went to high school?
Yeah. Well, this guy's got I'll avoid using names as long as I can, but he has a reputation. Like, he's been in the business for a long time. He's also, like, taught for, like, 20 years and stuff like that.
Damn.
He has a reputation for making people cry.
Ooh.
But, like, he's not mean. He's just, like, honest. But I'm, like, just from, like, the few conversations I've had with him, I'm already, like, learning a lot. I'm thinking, like, this is the guy to learn from. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He can't help but teach, I think.
I wanted to start this podcast because role model Kevin Smith, like he's always telling people like start a podcast.
Yeah.
But then he also says like surround yourself with like people who always ask like why not start a podcast, and like don't surround yourself by people who say why, like why do you think you can start a podcast?
Oh, yeah.
What gives you the right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I had to go back and listen to that quote after I decided to start the podcast, too.
Yeah.
Who's Eddie
Huang,
Huang?
the chef.
Oh.
He's a chef. And
I like how your idols are... I was expecting, like, a list of artists.
I know, that's also... It made me reflect on myself, too. And I'm starting
But you're right. Like, it was closed-minded of me to think it that way, too. Because I don't only idolize artists.
Yeah.
But go on.
Oh, well, I would just... I think I might gravitate more towards, like, storytellers or oral storytellers and written storytellers.
Mhm.
But yeah, Eddie Huang. He's the chef. He founder of Bauhaus, and then he also did like Huang's World on Viceland.
Wait, I have seen this. I
I
think
think yeah. Now
Yeah,
that,
and
yeah, I
also
think-
I'm
he-
bad with names because
he
my brain's
wrote-
bad. But
He wrote Fresh Off the Boat, a memoirs, and then which turned into TV show.
Oh, here.
oh, that's where that came
Yeah,
from.
he wrote it. It was based on
What?
his memoirs.
Oh.
And he backed like the first couple episodes, but then after a while they really started like sweetening up like the show to make it more palatable, I think. And then after that he was like, yeah, the show isn't about my life anymore. Yeah, but he's one of my role models just because he's like a man of action. Like, yeah, he's a chef. He founded a restaurant. He used to be a lawyer. Like, he used to, yeah, he did. He went to law school. He was a lawyer. And
That is so surprising.
and like he just always hustled from like selling porn in middle school
Damn.
to like he had like
You can't make money off
like
that
a
anymore.
t-shirt, yeah, like on the like on floppy disks and stuff. But yeah, t-shirt company, like grassroots, like political t-shirts, and then he hustles.
That's a lot of sauce.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
Yeah. So
I've seen a few Vice clips of him,
Yeah.
and like none of that reflects any of the things you just said about him. I mean,
know.
like, you know, law school and all the entrepreneur stuff that he did. But yeah, now I have a different opinion of him. So
Yeah.
good.
I'll go
Yeah.
check him out.
Yeah, I definitely want to go check his stuff out. Wait, who's your third person?
Kevin Smith.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Who's Kevin Smith?
I mean,
No, I'm kidding. I know that.
who are you? Some of your idols, current guy?
I'm thinking now because
Oh yeah, I had to write mine down real quick just because I was like,
me too. I haven't.
I wish I did my homework.
So yeah, me too. I thought I had some idols, but now I'm like thinking like beyond just like artists that I admire, because that's not necessarily like idol, material. Just because it's like, oh, that's cool.
I think it's like one thing to idolize like someone, and another thing to idolize their artwork. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because some people can like make great stuff, but you don't want to like
Yeah.
be like them because some people
exactly.
are just like, I don't know, not cool people. So maybe I'll have to like come back around on that.
What about you, Kyle?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, like with Kanye and do you guys remember his graduation album? Like Geng or Karenka? No.
You're asking the wrong
Oh
guy.
yeah, wrong guy. My bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, like he has this album cover for, I think it came out in what, like 08, 07, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was done by this artist Takashi Murakami. And Murakami's also known for like Louis Vuitton pattern, which you've probably seen people with the brown bags,
Yeah.
and you know that LV, and it has like a star kind of.
I know
pattern.
about Louis Vuitton. I'm
Yeah.
friends with Josh Harris.
So,
Shout out.
hey, nice. So he did that pattern. He there's also like a flower figure, and he's like pretty big in like the hip hop culture now as well, and I guess because the Kanye tie-in. But like, I came into seeing his stuff like from this movie called Summer Wars.
Yeah.
Summer Wars. That's familiar.
It's like anime movie, and it's kind of like
Oh, that's why it's familiar.
It's like reskinned
know of-
Digimon movie. Do you
I
guys
know-
know Digimon?
Yeah.
movie?
Well, I never watched Digimon actually. I was like, there was like battle lines drawn between like Pokemon and Digimon. I wasn't like aware that you could just like both things as a kid.
No,
You just had to pick
you
a side.
can't.
Like,
Well, be
Digimon's
like
better than
me.
Pokemon.
I liked neither.
oh, what? You
Ew.
didn't like Pokemon?
I didn't.
What about now?
I don't know much about Pokemon.
Can we be friends still? I don't know.
But Digimon's better than Pokemon anyway, so you're not
Okay,
missing
well.
out.
Let's throw it down.
What's the difference?
But yeah, Summer
There's no
Wars
difference.
definitely like got me into his world a little bit or a lot more.
That movie is just like packed with style.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's great.
Oh man,
I
if
love
we
it.
want to talk about like anime movies packed with style, this is gonna be turned into a different podcast.
I don't know, the recommendations Josh gives me for anime, they've all been so scary.
Really?
Scary. Here, I'll
Like-
give you.
like your weird puppet one.
Thunderball Fantasy. Yeah, that shit's awesome.
Don't say that like everyone knows what you're talking about.
I actually had a conversation like about anime last night at the end of the day, Some people were not aware that I was a weeb, and I'm like, let me tell you how much of a weeb I am. I'm like telling them to watch all this stuff. I told them about Thunderball Fantasy, and like it's puppets. And they're like, you're
like,
not. It's like they're like, you're fucking weird. Like, stop talking to me,
dude. The other day I was watching like One Piece, like latest episode, and my little cousin was there with me. He's like, how old is he? He's 18, and Nancy was with me, so. They were I was like, you guys don't know what to watch, so I'm going to watch what I want to watch, and that's One Piece. And I started watching it, and they just both started roasting the hell out of me. I was like, oh, man, it feels bad.
I mean, yeah. I never watched One Piece, but, like, stuff that's just been long running like that, like Dragon Ball, like, that's...
You forget how it looks like from the outside.
You forget, yeah. It's pretty easy to roast.
It's about puppets.
It's awesome.
Trust me.
They're puppets and they're like kung fu fighting, but with magic. But no, like, if you want to talk about style, like, I can't not talk about Redline. That's like from Studio Madhouse, and that is the movie that almost, I think it actually did. I think it bankrupted the studio, and Madhouse almost like went under because of it. Because this guy just like wanted to, like, he's like, I'm gonna put all the money in this because I want it to look as fucking cool as possible, and it does.
Redline?
Yeah,
What's
Yeah,
it?
Redline. It's a racing anime, but like sci-fi. Like imagine like
Wait, when was it made? Like in the 90s?
no. It's like it's not new, but it came out when I was in college. It's like I'd say 2011, maybe. Yeah.
Dude, dope. I'm down.
It's
Does it got puppets in it too?
nah, man. It's just every frame you could print it out and put it on your wall. It's just like that good.
Like Akira.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, like this is something that can give Akira a run for its money in terms of like quality of animation.
Bruh, don't
Oh, yeah.
say that
Yeah.
lightly.
I know. I mean, and it still doesn't do the frame rate that
It
Akira
better
did.
give me an
so
orgasm.
it might. It did to me.
to
Just the first racing scene, like the first scene, it just fucking gets you. Yeah, with the soundtrack too. It's got amazing soundtrack, and it's just like the only problem. I'll give like a criticism of it. Like as far as movies go, like the pacing is a bit of a problem. Like it starts out great, and then like the middle is.
Well, can you stop talking about it so I can
Okay.
formulate this opinion on my own? Thank you.
Never mind. Never mind.
Otherwise, you can turn into Lopes. Shout out Lopes one time for ruining everything.
Okay.
Dude,
Point.
that fool's
taken.
always just like, you need to check out this anime. It's amazing. It's like the best thing I've ever seen. And then the next day he's like, dude, are you there yet? Are you there when the princess fucking dies? And I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
no.
no.
No, I would never like actually like spoil like a plot point or anything like that. I was just talking about the pacing, but no, I'll
Like,
shut
I
up.
think-
I'll shut up. It's okay.
Okay,
I'll
here,
shut
let's
up.
talk about spoilers for a second, right?
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's like this huge range of gray when it comes to what people think are spoilers and what they don't. Like, I remember watching Game of Thrones, and on Facebook I just posted a quote. Like, what did he say? Tyrion was like at a table, and like he's like,
Is this gonna actually be a spoiler?
It should be long enough now.
Well,
that,
yeah.
haven't seen it yet, then
So
Still.
yeah. So I
Game
post
of Thrones spoiler
Game of
alert.
Thrones. Yeah, you're right.
Coming
I
up.
won't say it, but I posted this quote on Facebook, and then one of my homies just started like, he went off, and he's like, "Dude, you ruined it. I haven't seen it yet." And I was like, "Well, it was one line, you know." And
how does he even know that's from the show? How does he even know it's from the show?
because he read the book,
Oh.
and so he's like, "Dude, now I know that this scene is coming up, and you like messed it up for me." And I was like,
but if you read the book,
I don't know, but I kind of felt that because like a lot of times I just get like I get super tilted when somebody says something like in Red Dead where they're like, "Dude, it gets it gets really good in chapter 3 or whatever," right? Or
and then you're just like waiting for chapter 3 to come around.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's like, damn, now I have this expectation, and like I don't know,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm just too sensitive like that.
Well, there was like one time
Maybe you're just a
for,
little snowflake.
for Game of Thrones. There was like
Little brown snowflake.
there-
Sorry. You were saying Mimi?
on Game of Thrones, the show, there was something going on with like a character's dad, and it was near Father's Day, and then someone posted on Facebook like "Happy Father's Day," like this character's dad, and then I was like, okay, he dies. Like now I know he dies, and so like that stuff, that's spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Like, yeah, I even stopped watching like movie trailers.
Me too. I'm
trying
tired
to,
of it.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell
like,
people
seeing
that
all the good stuff.
It's such a small thing you can change in your life that has
Yeah.
like a huge impact.
It's like if I already know I'm gonna watch the movie, why see all the good parts?
Yeah,
Like,
and it makes so much. Like I did that first with, I think it was Star Wars, and just going into that fresh, like the fresh series was just like amazing. Blew my mind. I haven't gone. Even people are like, dude, you gotta check. You gotta see the trailers. Dude. Did you see that trailer? Yeah. And I'm like, what? That movie's coming. They're making that. Like someone told me about live, whatever it's called,
action.
Lion King. Yeah,
yeah.
And I was like,
what? I hate that people are calling that live action. I feel like everybody who has a podcast has already talked about that, so never mind.
Yeah,
it's not live action. It's all CG. How do they train the lions to do all that? People are stupid or trolls. I can't tell anymore.
That's the world we live in.
It's funny. Anyways, either way.
Yeah, I mean, they got me.
They got me.
What can I do?
My feelings.
Yeah.
Geng, did you have any role models on hand?
Yeah, I have a couple. One of them is David Cho, the infamous or famous or infamous graffiti artist. I don't know. I'm assuming you guys know about it.
I mean,
go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right, so
I'll look it up. Maybe I do know.
Okay. So he's a graffiti artist. Always done what he wanted, and what made him famous was that he did a mural for Facebook when Facebook was first started, and instead of taking $60,000 cash as payment, he opted for stock, just because why not? And now he's set for he's set. I mean,
set for life, yeah.
Set for life, but you know he has his own, I guess, opinions on like money for him is not an issue now, and he just his own struggle is, what do I do now for art?
Well, yeah.
How do I spend my time here? So
you don't have to worry about art. Yeah. It's like you can money. Yeah, you can actually be like a real artist. Kind of like
he was actually
is this what
didn't really worry about money even before that. He would just go gamble and make money.
Oh,
and then
that's a different. I like
art's a gamble.
He has his own method. He will literally hire people to drag him off the table. So like once he reaches a certain amount, he approached it very.
So that was before he got all that Facebook money.
Before he got all that Facebook money.
Was he did he have a lot of money?
He didn't. He was working at Toys R Us, so he would work
shout
at
out Toys R Us one time.
Yeah,
all
rest in peace.
Sponsor us.
They're gone.
Oh shit!
They're terrible. That was our only sponsor.
Sponsors.
Yeah. What if we were only sponsored by dead companies?
Shout out, Blockbuster one time.
Blockbuster.
Shout out to
Borders.
Yeah.
Dang.
Arts and craft. But yeah, he would
MySpace.
He would work at Toys R Us and take the paycheck to Vegas, and so he will approach it very methodically. Once he reaches a certain amount, and he will have people drag himself off the table.
It's because he had a gambling problem.
Yeah, it's because he's he knows that he has a problem, and before that he was trying to sell his paintings for maybe $100, $200 in galleries, and they're no one will sell it. No one will buy it, and ever since he accumulated a certain amount of money, he said, I don't have to worry about money anymore. So he just started asking for a ridiculous amount of money for his paintings, and that actually, in turn, make people notice his art, which is pretty crazy. It says something about the art world, the fine art world. But yeah, he's just this guy who's.
What about him do you look up to? What about him do you idolize?
He just always done what he wanted.
Nice.
And
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my idols.
David Cho. Oh, tell him that story where the prison one.
that he went to prison. That he went to prison.
Yeah.
So he went to. He was in Japan for I forgot why he was there, but he was like a thief, so he would steal things. So he went to the prison. So he beat up a undercover policeman, and
Damn.
got sent to prison, the Japanese prison for I think it was 6 months.
It's a long time.
I forgot how long. Yeah, 3 or 6 months. But everything there is solitary, so he would just to get his mind off things, he would use like urine or blood, his own blood, to draw.
Damn, that's fucking metal as shit.
Yeah. Respect, dude. That's the art hustle right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's, if anyone wants to know what it's like to be an artist, that
Yeah,
is
get arrested
Yeah.
and paint in your own bodily fluids.
It's when you're alone, you'll do anything to draw something.
Yeah.
It's crazy because he actually has his own podcast, and he was talking about it, that looking back, like those were like going to prison and then coming back, like those few years were his most productive years. And now that he has all his money, he's like, man, like I'm not painting anymore. Like, you know, I'm just wasting time.
Yeah, same dude.
And he's got his idea. I don't know if he's done it yet. He said I'm really considering hiring someone to just lock me up so that I can be productive again.
Like old boy style.
Like, oh, I haven't seen that.
Oof.
But okay, cool.
Ever?
No, never. Neither versions.
Ooh. Well,
You better write that one down too.
yeah. Added to the list.
Should we have back-to-back viewing of Redline and then Old Boy?
Dude,
That'll be
I'm
a
gonna start a movie night. You guys down?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
that'll be an emotional roller coaster. By the way, we didn't know what Old Boy was when we saw it originally.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just remember seeing like a fight scene from it, and we
Yeah.
thought,
Oh yeah, that long fight scene.
yeah, and we thought it was like we were looking for like kung fu movies to watch for like a kung fu movie marathon. And we're like, this looks good. It's not a martial arts movie. But it was the first movie we saw that night, and it's like, wow. Let's get something happier.
Were you like pleasantly surprised though? Or
It was a
not?
great movie.
Yeah.
It just was like not the vibe we wanted to begin the night with. And
It's a movie that we've all seen.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Akira.
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen Akira.
When was the last time you guys watched Akira?
Not that long ago.
Actually, yeah.
Actually,
Like,
it was the
couple
first time I
weeks ago.
watched it as well.
Oh,
like
me
it
too.
took a
Really?
long ass
Nice.
time. Like
Me
I saw
too,
it
Josh.
2 years to 1 year.
What number was that?
I saw it years ago.
I watched it like late last year.
I know I was in my current apartment, so it's not that like long ago.
First
Yeah.
time I saw it was like
First time.
Foothill, so like 2010, 2011, and blew my mind.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like my brother, who is 10 years older than me, he would watch it all the time when I was like a kid, but I just didn't care for it, or I just didn't know what it was, so I didn't watch it. But I do remember him watching it all the time.
That's pretty dope to be exposed to something like that, because I feel like that kind of thing, like a lot of people, it's like recommended. It's not really like not a lot of people have seen it, or yeah, like people have just seen it kind of thing. But it should be more popular than it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like it got around a lot when it was like popular here because it was like one of the few. It was like one of like the first like animes sort of like breaking into the States a little bit.
yeah.
Like it was just like there was like Akira VHSs like floating around, and people would just be like, "What is this? Like anime?" And then you'd see like a fucking like masterpiece as like your first exposure to Japanese animation, and you're like, "Whoa!" And I feel like it created a lot of weebs, which is good.
Yeah, we need more weebs.
Yeah.
I was like, one time, I think it was Thanksgiving, I asked Josh if he was going to make cornbread from scratch. And then he was yeah, you convinced me. And I texted.
Yeah, you fucking psyched me out. I was just gonna buy like pre-made mix or whatever.
And then I texted, yatta! And then he texted back, you fucking weeb. I was like, I was...
Just because I am a weeb doesn't mean I'm not going to call you out on it.
My weeb level went way up after I met all three of you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I love
I'm
it.
not a weep.
Hmm?
Please.
I'm not a weep.
I was like,
Yeah, we'll make you.
All Geng and Kyle do is sit at their desks and say, so. That's it for now. Sorry again for the abrupt ending, but don't worry, this won't be the last you'll hear from Geng and Kyle. They're definitely going to be back on the show again. Thanks so much for listening. Our theme music is written and performed by Russell and Andrew Bennett, and you can follow us on our Facebook page or Instagram by searching CADMIUM DREAD, or email us at cadmiumdread@gmail.com. Bye!